no hero, no hero, no hero left. Unsung. I said no hero, no hero, no hero left. Unsung.
Welcome back to the Unsung Heroes podcast. I am joined by a few of my friends. We have James.
Hello.
We have Samuel, not going in order.
Hello.
And we have Daniel.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
There we go.
Yes.
I knew he was going to pull
What is
one
that?
out.
Japanese.
Japanese.
Oh,
Yes.
very
I'm
good.
sorry, I'm uncultured, I guess.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't speak Japanese.
I don't either.
So-
Arigato.
As I said, welcome back to the Unsung Heroes podcast. This is the podcast where we discuss a unsung hero from history, someone we think is underrated, and we talk about them, we discuss them, and then we write a song about them, record and produce the song, and slap it on the end of the podcast. So we our goal is to leave no hero unsung. And welcome back to season 2 of the podcast. We are now on episode 4, which means I'm the one in the hot seat. I was going to say hot seat.
We're going to
Yes, very
severely
nice.
interrogate you about this person.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Better
yeah.
know
Where were you on the
everything
night
about this
of the
person.
14th? Yes.
I honestly think so. Out of us 4, I do think I am the least read when it comes to history. I enjoy history at a very casual level. And I know compared to the man at my right here on the couch
Well,
with me,
James is in his own level.
James is
He
in his own
is.
league.
I don't know about that.
It's like
don't have
to
it's
tell
you
him,
guys
and then
that.
there's like us way down.
It's like James, a whole bunch of historians, and then probably like Samuel, and then me and Johnny kind of.
I don't
Yeah.
know, dude, because I just be sitting there, and the ceramic form prevalent in this
Here,
strata
just-
is it's just
To
not
prove
stuff
our
that's
point-
good for
To
history.
prove our point, can you just show the audience your T-shirt, please?
Oh, look at that.
Okay, wait, hold up.
It says-
Hold up. It says
Archaeology. I dig it. So,
Very nice.
if you
Yeah.
need to
The
prove,
podcast listeners are gonna love the shirt.
yes.
just
So
gonna say.
if you're
Yeah.
tuning into audio only, we do have a video version of this podcast where you can see James's
Right.
lovely T-shirts.
So
Yes.
so pull the car over, open YouTube on your phone, and watch the video instead.
Say, okay, Tesla, open up YouTube.
to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm.
that's
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, so all that being said, you know, sometimes there's random history facts that I may, that I may get wrong or something. I'm relying on y'all to correct me, or producer Austin, who is also here again.
What's up, everybody?
Hey,
There
Yeah.
he is.
One thing that he should have caught is the fact that I didn't say hello in Japanese. I said thank you.
Ooh,
Wow. We're all uncultured.
I'm so
Yeah.
uncultured.
Yeah.
We're like, wow, that's so cool.
Thank
You know
you.
Japanese.
You can say
Wow.
hi in Japanese.
Oh my.
Yeah. So without further ado, I mean, we can get in a little bit into this person's life, the person who I have done some research on. Her name is Deborah Sampson.
Deborah Sampson.
Now, have any of you heard of her before?
This is my first
never
time.
heard of her.
Okay. Yeah. So have any of you seen the movie Mulan?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, before you continue, if we had all said we had heard of her, would the episode be over?
Yeah.
And you're like,
Then
it's
I'd
not
be like,
unsung.
okay.
Disqualified.
Let's go back to the drawing board. I'll be back in like 30 minutes with another hero.
Hair disheveled, notes everywhere.
No, yeah. So Deborah Sampson's life and what she heroically did very much mirrors the plot of the movie Mulan. So, which, you know, I grew up in a household with 3 brothers and no sisters. So we liked watching very manly movies. My mom's favorite Disney movie was Mulan.
Nice.
And so whenever she got to choose the movie, it was always Mulan. We saw it so many times. It's a great movie, honestly. It's
a classic.
Yeah.
Did you see those Huns? That's still a great line.
Just say those.
They popped out of the snow.
Yes. Yeah. There's no Eddie Murphy style sidekick.
Does she have a sidekick?
Deborah-
Is her life
Deborah
a
Sampson's
musical?
life.
I was really excited about the impressions you were gonna do for
No.
us.
I wanted you to sing "Who Is That Girl I See." That's what I was really hoping for.
Yeah. And so the reason why I stumbled upon this person, actually, as I was thinking back to season 1 of the show, We did an episode on Dicey Langston, who was an unsung hero in the Revolutionary War, the American Revolutionary War. And I thought I want to look up more people from the Revolutionary War, because it seems like one of those wars that's really fun to read about. You know, the Civil War is also fun to read about, but there's some things that aren't as fun, you know, when you get to the divide in the North and South.
And all the
you know, there's just some,
The Revolution
some
was
wars
just
some wars seem
so
more
cute.
interesting than others.
The Revolution's just Washington and the boys, man.
I
you know,
mean,
they're just
that's right, exactly. You got
Just so
you got
picturesque.
Hamilton, you know, all these things. So it's also this was also, as I was doing research, something I realized about that era of time, which is it's long enough ago that when you read things that were written at that time, they are written so differently than how we would write things. But it's recent enough that we can still understand it pretty easily.
Yeah.
So it's just so interesting to read documents from that time, the words that they use to describe things. So it was just fun to read about.
I love reading primary sources. It's just something better about it. You know, I teach history to my students, and I always tell them that people back then, you might be better at math or science. You might have more knowledge in some respects, but you're worse than them at ELA or language arts. Like, you're just worse. And you have to really focus in when you're reading older texts because they're just a little more complicated.
true.
And people are really into literacy, especially in the Revolutionary War. Literacy was like at an all-time high. That was a very literate society. That was, they were super into reading and debates, and they would just absorb so much literature. And so, it's a big part of their culture at this point.
Austin, can you look up what is the most literate time of human history?
It's probably
guess
right
now.
now.
It would have to be.
I've heard. Well, I mean, literate.
Or 5 years ago.
I think it depends
10
what you
years
define
ago.
as literate, right? Because literate just means you can't read.
If
I mean,
we're talking
now,
about
but-
globally,
yeah,
then it's probably right now.
they're talking about the
obviously.
number of books consumed per person. I wonder if that's also different. Yeah, because it might be something different. But
Yeah.
Austin's
I wonder if
looking
it
up
would
right
be actually more in the time before the internet, ironically enough.
Yeah.
Like a few years before the internet, and then just
Yeah.
declined.
now. Yeah, well, I mean, like
Interesting.
my
Like a
my
time when
students.
all you could do was read books. I don't
Yeah.
know.
My students can
It's
read,
true.
but they don't read. They just watch TikTok. You know what I mean? That's what my students actually do.
That's true. That's true.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yep.
Austin has it.
Austin.
So apparently, by the time of the Revolutionary War, about 90% of the United States could read.
That's super
Whoa.
high.
90%?
Nowadays,
I had
it's
no
at
idea.
98% literacy rate.
Which is just due to
90% of the US could
standardization.
read during
So
the-
before the
that's-
standardization of education, they still had a 90% literacy
I had
rate.
no idea.
Oh, man.
That actually factors a little bit into Deborah Sampson's life.
Ooh,
there you
bringing it
as
back.
we'll see. But
That
yeah.
number's way higher than I would have thought.
Me too.
It's probably stupid, but I would have said like 50% or something. But
Well, that's what I was saying. I
Well,
saw
yeah,
some
it's
study
like-
about them being one of the most literate societies. Just, you know, I think a lot of it had to do with the emphasis on scripture, the Puritan background. They really memorized, read
That's true.
so much of the scripture that poured into other literature as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Pamphlets, newspapers were becoming a thing, the printing press, it all kind of coalesced in this highly literate society
Wow.
Wow.
of that period. But anyway, don't keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we can get into her life if we want.
Let's hear it.
Let's pull out my notes here.
Nifty little note.
The Notebook.
If you're not watching this on video, you're really missing out
You're missing out,
on
man.
Johnny's
my
movements.
notes. Yeah.
his notes.
Yeah. So Deborah Sampson was born on December 17th, 1760
Okay.
in Plimpton, Massachusetts, which was in the Plymouth County of Massachusetts. And she has quite the heritage because her father was Jonathan Sampson, who was a direct descendant of Henry Sampson, who was on the Mayflower.
Mm.
Wow.
Her mother was Deborah Bradford. So Deborah Sampson was named, her first name, after her mother, Deborah Bradford. And she was a direct descendant of William Bradford, who was also on the Mayflower.
Wow.
So deep.
One of the
roots,
OG.
Yeah, so both sides of the family, part of the OG pilgrims who came across the Atlantic.
Wow.
And her William Bradford, who is on her mother's side, the one who was on the Mayflower, he was the second governor of Plymouth County after it was established. So deep roots in the original Plymouth colony. Yeah. There is a book about Deborah Sampson's life. So before I get into this, that was one of the sources that I was reading. It's available online. You can read it. It's called The Female Review, Life of Deborah Sampson, the Female Soldier in the War of the Revolution.
Email
There you
soldier.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got our American Mulan over here.
There
Yeah.
we go.
It was originally published in 1797 while she was still alive
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
by Herman Mann, who knew her personally.
Herman Mann?
Herman Mann.
He's from Germany, yeah.
Isn't her like Herren or something? Man in German? What is the man in German? Word for
Man is Herr. Yeah.
Herr.
Yeah.
So it's
Herr
Herman
Man.
Man.
Very,
Man,
very
man,
manly
man.
I always find it kind of interesting when like somebody publishes a book about another person while the other
While
person
they're
is still
alive,
alive.
Yeah.
Like that's always a little bit, I don't know. It's interesting because they're already making a statement about the person's like life, you
Right.
know?
Yeah,
I don't
true.
know.
Yeah.
It's always
It's
a little
nice though to
interesting.
have a source that close though.
Oh
as
yeah,
well, which
I'm
is,
sure
you know,
for a historian
a lot
like
of-
you,
lot of
James.
details. Well, I mean, there's interesting that like we don't always prioritize historically direct sources that are connected to it because there's often the like accompanying problems you deal with when you're too close to the events.
Mm.
Like, you know, for example, there are historians of the 1990s that write and publish books, but they're probably better to consult than like someone who lived in it because they had their own perspective and unique take on something and they're mired in the actual controversy. When you're able to broadly look at something in retrospect, it can help. So like it's good to have a source. You want a source like that. It's really helpful for some things, but it's also, it doesn't mean it's like you said, sometimes it's like, well, we're saying something about this person now that, you know, maybe in retrospect we should look at it differently. So
Well,
but anyway.
on that note, there has been debate by historians after this book was published about how much it might exaggerate.
Right, sure.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So just keep that in mind when we're going through this story. And I might try to point out a few points that are actually up for debate.
Great, yeah.
But in general, I mean, this was published by someone who knew her personally. So yeah, she was born December 17th, 1760. She grew up in poverty. Both of her parents struggled financially. She was the fifth of 7 children. And when she was 5 years old, her father left on a sea voyage and never came back. And
Did they
her
check the Appalachian Trail?
dude, hold on, wait.
Throw back to our last episode.
Dude, okay, for real though, because they were originally told that he died at sea, they later found out that he had abandoned the family and moved to Maine.
Oh no.
Oh no! Which
That
is where
is-
the
Which is the Appalachian Trail.
That's
The
crazy.
Rangers descended.
Yeah.
Yikes, dude.
The park rangers. He's
park
their
rangers.
ancestor.
Yeah. And so that's part of like
Oh, that's pretty funny.
what historians debate is like what happened to her father exactly, but they're pretty sure that he abandoned the family and moved to Maine.
Oh, that's
Um,
awful.
Jeez.
Well, you know, our wedding ceremonies still have that, like, speak now or forever hold your peace. Like, that whole, there was a real danger sometimes of when someone got married, you don't know where they came from.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any prior marriages, relations, things that we need to know about? Does anybody have any witnesses here who can say a reason why this marriage shouldn't happen? Like,
No, yeah,
that,
because-
this happens sometimes.
I always thought it was
yeah.
just for
Because,
like,
no,
cool
it-
drama.
Yeah, it was for the rom-com movies to have a great dramatic.
Right.
Yeah,
The dramatic
No,
pause.
it is thought that he remarried and had a
Right.
whole second family
right,
in Maine.
exactly.
So,
Yeah, that happens, yeah.
yeah, that would have been a great thing for someone to point out at that wedding. So obviously, her mother, who was already struggling financially, she couldn't provide for the 7 children. So the 7 children were split up and sent to live with various family members who were able to help provide for them more. So Deborah was sent off to live with a family member until she was 10, at which point that family member was struggling to provide for her as well. So she became an indentured servant to the Thomas family under Jeremiah Thomas. So until she was 18, she had to stay with that family and essentially serve them until she was a legal adult and able to move out. And Jeremiah Thomas did not believe in the education of women. So she was not allowed to go to school. She had to stay home and take care of the house and cook and clean and whatnot. But she wanted to learn. And so the Jeremiah boys who were going to school would come home every day from school and teach her what they had learned in school.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And apparently this was a very great method for her because when she turned 18, she immediately got a job as a school teacher.
Whoa! Wow!
Yeah.
The student has become the master.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
as we're talking about like literacy rates, I mean, that's how she, I mean, she
Right,
was
right.
taught to read before the age of 10. It is speculated she was taught to read while she was living with that family
Sure, right,
member.
right, right.
But the rest of her education was done through the other sons in the family.
It's tough. I mean, school teachers had to kind of be masters of everything. I mean, because
Yeah.
you had one school teacher for a lot of children, and they had to just know all grades. Classically, they had to teach all the kids, no matter the age, and had all the subject knowledge necessary. That's a hard
Right.
thing to do. That's
Yeah, well, it was said she had a summer job as a teacher because they had summer classes that she would teach, and then in the winter she had a job as a basket weaver.
right, right.
So that's how she immediately made her living. So I thought that was really interesting that she was able to, learn so much in such a way and then become a teacher. But at the age of 21, so 3 years later, she tries to enlist in the army under a man's name because at that time women were not allowed to enlist in the army. Under the name Timothy Thayer. And when she signs up for, she enlists successfully, she gets a signing bonus, but she fails to show up to the company when they're all supposed to gather because someone had recognized her when she was signing up. So she was found out.
Was she trying to like disguise herself?
She
as a
was,
man? Okay,
yeah. So I'll get into that a little bit later, how
Okay,
she
yeah.
does that. But
What year was this? Just for
uh,
context.
1782.
Okay, so this would have been
This was
In the thick of the
middle
revolution. Yeah.
middle of
Okay.
the Revolutionary War. Yeah.
okay.
So it's interesting, a little tidbit at this point. Because she goes up to enlist in the army, she essentially disappears from her Baptist church that she was a part of. And they had a special meeting to discuss what they were going to do because she had like basically disappeared. And they decided, and I think somebody had realized that she had tried to enlist and picked up a signing bonus. And so they said she has to return the bonus and apologize and seek forgiveness, or else they're going to withdraw fellowship from her.
Right, right.
And it's never said whether she actually returned to that church after they withdrew fellowship. So, but she did return the bonus.
Okay.
So I thought that was just an interesting little tidbit.
yeah.
Huh.
So do we know why she wanted to join the army? Was she?
Yeah, that's an interesting part of this. She never really said why exactly. I mean, she says a little bit later in her life more about like, the role of women in the military and that kind of thing. But at this age of 21, she never really gives a good reason of like why, besides wanting to, join in the fight.
She's just like, why not? I don't know.
Gain,
Yeah.
independence in that.
Huh.
Yeah. So,
Man.
I guess she was probably pretty adamantly patriotic in the sense that she was a patriot pro American Revolution. Yeah, interesting.
yeah, exactly.
Were her parents, do you know if any of her family was also that way, or were they loyalists, or do you have any?
I don't know.
Yeah,
At this
interesting,
point,
yeah.
she wasn't very connected to the rest of her
Yeah,
family
that's
true,
because
that's
she
true,
had
yeah.
been spread out after her father had left. So, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
So that was in early 1782. And then in May 1782, same year, she enlists again, this time under the name Robert Shirtliff.
Shirtliff?
Yeah, Robert Shirtliff. And there's some debate on how Shirtliff was spelled, but yeah, it's Robert Shirtliff.
Yeah.
So let me get into a little bit about how she kind of, her physical description, how she kind of disguised herself. Because the book about her life talks about her physical description. She was 5'7".
Pretty tall for a woman that age. Yeah.
Well, that was above the male average
About to
height.
say,
at the
yeah.
time.
Oh, wow.
What was the
Yeah.
average height of that?
Yeah.
point?
Yeah, she was above even the male average height. And so I'll read a quote from her, but from the biography. The biographer writes, these are his words, not mine.
Right.
The features of her face are regular, but not what a physiognomist would term the most beautiful. Her eye is lively and penetrating. Her limbs are regularly proportioned. Ladies of taste considered them handsome when she was in the masculine garb. Her movement is erect, quick, and strong. Her speech deliberate with firm articulation. Her voice is not disagreeable for a female.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
Not disagreeable.
Not disagreeable.
For a female.
yeah, like she was able to like kind of make
Kinda
it.
get-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and so they also said she would put a tight bandage around her breasts to conceal them to make
Right,
it look
right,
more
right.
masculine figure. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
So she was able to kind of, and she, that being that tall, I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
that's pretty rare. I mean,
Right.
that's, I know guys that are that height now.
Awesome.
That's,
What do you got for us?
Yeah.
Little known fact, I didn't know this either. Apparently, men in the Continental Army were actually taller than normal, like normal people of that day, or even people around the world. The average soldier in the Continental Army was 5'9".
Oh.
So
It's
she would have been
it's
smaller than the
NBA
average
of
soldier.
time. I know. It was-
that's
Just Washington and his
interesting, yeah.
boys, you know?
Boys.
Yeah.
So, but she
Oh,
would have been
fun,
around
man.
that, like close to the average height, but like
it's not too
still.
far.
What I read, I mean, I don't know about the Continental Army, but what I read is that the average male at the time was 5'5",
Okay,
Right, yeah.
you're right.
Checks
which is
What's the average
Totally
male now
fine.
in the U.S.? Like,
I think 5'9".
5'9".
oh, really?
I think
that's
5'9".
crazy.
But
It's
still,
been like-
that they've grown
Yeah.
Yeah.
in just what,
Nutrition.
like 5 generations.
Childhood nutrition is
Oh.
huge. Yeah.
The
Yep.
Revolution War. Anyway, that's
right.
crazy.
A lot of Scandinavians came and
And
we
also
all grew
probably part
taller. Yeah. So she successfully enlists as a man. She's not found out, and she dresses as a man and all
Wait,
this
did she
stuff.
go somewhere like to a different?
Yeah, so let me get
Okay.
into it. So she joined the 4th Massachusetts Regiment of the Continental Army in Massachusetts, and then marched west to West Point, New York, with that regiment.
Mhm.
So in West Point, New York, she's chosen to join the light infantry troops under Captain George Webb.
Mhm.
The light infantry troops were an elite force of 50 to 60 soldiers. They had to be over a certain height, which was 5'5", and they had to be exceptionally strong and fast because their job was to move rapidly with few supplies to help flank other, during battles, to help provide quick support. And they usually did riskier missions like raids.
So they're like the Marines of the time.
They
right?
basically, they were like the elite because they were stronger, taller, faster than the rest of the army.
Right.
So she is chosen to join this light infantry troops.
That's impressive.
That's
Wow.
very impressive.
They were called the light infantry troops because they had to pack light, basically. They had to carry few things, which we learned about from the previous episode.
That's right. Yeah.
Pack light, man.
Pack
How to
light.
pack light.
That's right.
Maybe that grandmother was
She-
reading
she
a story
probably-
and thought maybe I could do
Yeah.
the light infantry of hiking. You know, but
We've coined a term, light infantry of hiking.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the fact that she was chosen for this probably helped her to stay undetected because no one would expect a woman
Oh, yeah.
to be part of this
Yeah.
elite
Well, that's my
force.
question. So, did anyone ever detect her when she was in this part of her?
Right. That's what
Service?
I'm
I mean,
wondering.
I'll get in a little bit later,
So
but
there will be something.
well,
yeah.
essentially, I'll go ahead and say no one in the military ever suspected or found her out.
Wow, that's
Wow.
crazy.
So
I feel like when you're in the military with a bunch of guys, hiking through the woods or what, I mean, sometimes
some
sometimes you
point.
got to go to the bathroom. Sometimes you go take a hike and
yeah,
take a dip in the pool. Like, I mean, what, in the creek, like this is crazy.
Skinny
That
dipping with the boys.
like, just Washington in the boy. Anyway, like
And it's
that's
really
crazy.
like that
she
with, like,
avoided.
Mulan.
Yeah,
Right.
like,
Yes,
she didn't. It's like in Mulan, she didn't have. That's wow. That's amazing. She managed to avoid detection like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I just think it's so impressive for her to be, known for this elite group of exceptionally strong men who are able to move quickly. Like, yeah, it's really impressive. So, in July 1782, so this is a couple months after she enlists and she's part of this elite force, she participated in a skirmish against a group of Tories in Tarrytown, New York. She was reportedly shot in the thigh and had a gashed in the forehead with a sword.
Oh man.
Okay.
Wow.
And there's some debate over whether she was shot in the thigh or in the shoulder. I read one biography entry of a different book that said she was shot in the shoulder, but most say she was shot in the thigh. And I think that's...
I mean, the shoulder is the thigh of the arm, really. Okay.
The shoulder is the thigh of the arm.
I mean, think about it, right? I mean,
What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
Oh yeah, this one guy says it was the thigh, the other one's like whatever,
It's like,
shoulder,
that's what I
same
meant,
thing.
man.
I'm just trying to make it work, you know.
The book the book that was written by Herman Mann says she was shot in the thigh.
Yeah.
The book written by man.
Man. We gotta call him
Can't
man.
get over this.
from now on.
Yeah, so shot in the thigh, gashed in the forehead with a sword. She is afraid that she's going to be found out if she's taken to any kind of doctor or medical person. So she asks, please don't take me to the hospital or to a doctor.
Really?
Which only makes them believe more that it's a man.
There's a real man right here.
Give him the whiskey.
Look at him. Robert's over here. He got shot in the leg, doesn't even want to go to the hospital.
Robert, are you a man or a woman? It's getting a little insensitive.
No, but
It is okay. So it is weird to me though that like she is obviously injured,
yeah.
and yet her concern right now is that like
To not be
she's
found
not
out.
found out.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like at some point I'm like, you know, would you like at what point
At
would you
one
just
point,
want to
yeah.
give up? You know what I mean?
At
Like,
what point do you think I'd
take
rather
a
not
leg. That's not
die?
worth it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe would there have been serious repercussions for being found out? I guess I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit
Mhm.
later. But she basically, I think at this point, her motivation was that she wanted to stay in the fight.
Mhm.
Okay.
She wanted to stay
Yeah.
in the army. She
That's
wasn't.
fair.
She wasn't worried about like any kind of punishment if she was
Yeah,
found
that
out.
probably makes more
Right.
sense.
Yeah, that is.
So a fellow soldier doesn't listen to her and takes her to a doctor. Okay.
Mm,
The doctor he first treats her head wound, but then she leaves before he can get to her thigh.
Right.
So he never finds out
ooh.
that her secret.
Mhm.
She reportedly digs the bullet out of her thigh herself
Oh.
with a penknife and a sewing needle.
Oh no.
And apparently she didn't get all of the pieces, so her leg never fully healed from that wound.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the dedication to stay in the army. Yeah,
That's a level of commitment.
that's a level of commitment.
That's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah,
Two
but
episodes in a row of women that were just built different, man. That's,
Yeah,
I know.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
yeah. So her leg does heal enough for her to keep fighting. She joins back in the rest of the troop, but she is assigned as the waiter for, let me get his name right here, General John Patterson. So she still participates in some of the skirmishes with the light infantry troops, but most of the time she is the personal waiter for for General John Patterson. So most of the time she was in the army at this point, she's in the Hudson River Valley region of New York, which was at that point known as neutral ground in the fighting. Which is where most of those skirmishes would happen, right? In neutral ground. The Tories would go on a raid, and then the Patriots, that's what they were. Yes, the Patriots would go on a raid. Whoop. And so those were like the short skirmishes against each other. In the summer of 1873, she gets sick with a fever. So at this point, she's been in the army over a year.
Mhm.
And she gets sick with a fever, and she's taken to a hospital in Philadelphia. She was so sick that she fell unconscious, and Dr. Barnabas Binney treats her and discovers her secret, discovers that she's a woman.
That's the Mulan moment, you know,
Yes.
when she's
That's
in
the
the
Mulan
tent.
moment.
Yes. So he takes her to his house because I think he didn't want to immediately oust her.
Uh-huh.
So the doctor takes her to his house to be treated by his wife and nurses at his house for a couple of weeks. I think they
Interesting.
cared for her. But eventually she's nursed back to health. She goes back. Dr. Binney gives her a letter to give to General Patterson when she goes back to him. And the whole time she's thinking, oh, he's probably written in this letter, like my secret, like I'm a woman. And she was right. Dr. Binney ousts her to General Patterson.
At least done in a letter and
Right.
in a way of integrity.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And so General Patterson gets this letter, and he's basically like, okay, you can't serve in the army anymore.
It's like, what do you want me to do with this?
What are you doing?
So I think it says on October 25th, she was discharged. So I don't know what happened for like a month there, because it says in September she was sent back
Maybe there was
to
some
General
logistics.
Patterson.
I was like, let me think about this.
Yeah.
A month later, I've made my decision.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
a month later, she's honorably discharged and given enough money to get back home. Yeah. Thanks, Austin. Producer Austin, letting me know what time it is. She's honorably discharged. So there's no real punishment.
Yeah.
She's just discharged and said, go back home, stop fighting.
I guess it's pretty fair, with the standards. It's like, I
Yeah.
guess you lied to us, but I think at that point, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I would probably be like, I mean, that's kind of amazing. You did this.
Yeah.
So we'll just, I don't know.
I think
That's-
like if
yeah.
I was that general, at one point where I'd be like, this is such a valuable asset. Like she's one of our elite troops. She's fought in several skirmishes. It actually reportedly she led one of the raids, which resulted in the capture of 15 Tories.
Right.
wow.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, like, what were the roles of women as, like, I guess, support auxiliaries? Like, did women, like, did they function in camp? Were they sometimes nurses? Was there that?
I'd imagine
that
purely
existed as-
nurses.
I wondered if there was
Maybe
some role.
Just going
supplies,
based
though.
on like in media, you see the women as nurses, in the,
right.
like,
Right.
nursing tent or
I just wondered if
something.
there was any that was a standard
I
back
don't
in the
know
day
if-
or not. I wondered.
Yeah.
This is what
Yeah.
I would ask you normally, James. So I don't
I'm
know.
not a Revolutionary War guy.
Well,
There you go.
Austin can
This is
start
like
looking up
2,000 years
maybe
too late for me.
role of women during the Revolutionary War.
Yep.
See what else they did.
Yeah. So apparently she's not the only one who was a woman who disguised herself as a man to fight in the Revolutionary War.
Sure.
Apparently that happened like several times.
I'm sure it did. Yeah.
He reads the letter. Mans keeps popping up.
keeps
everywhere.
coming.
Another one.
It goes to
my
all
fifth this
the
week.
light infantry troops. Like, are you all women?
They all go, oh no.
Yeah. But her story, I think, is particularly heroic, considering that she was part of the elite force, that she sustained wounds and tried to, like dig the bullet out herself, that kind of thing. Yeah. So she's honorably discharged, sent back home. That is in 1873 in October.
Please tell me she signs up again.
No,
Okay.
she does not.
She's like,
she does not sign up
Sneak,
again.
sneak,
She
my
does not
battling
enlist
days
again.
are over.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an injury, probably. That makes sense.
In 1783. I think I may have misspoke there.
Yes.
In 1783.
Okay. Yeah.
After the war, 2 years later, well, I don't know exactly what year the war ended, James. Do you know that?
1789.
Okay.
1780.
Let's look
Where's
off
our
screen.
fact?
Producer Austin, what
Austin,
year
just pull it
did
up.
the Revolutionary War officially end?
So no, I'm thinking that the Constitution was sorry.
Yeah,
the
it was like in the
Continental
89.
Congress was 89. It was 83.
Officially ended September 3rd, 1783, with the signing of the Treaty
That's
of
the Battle of
Paris.
Yorktown. Yeah. Okay. That would have been the end. Yeah.
There we go.
So pretty
So
close
this
to
is
the end.
This
right?
is pretty close to the end. She's found out she's discharged. 2 years later, 1785, she marries Benjamin Gannett. So she becomes Deborah Sampson Gannett. So when you look her up, you might find that name, Deborah Sampson Gannett. They
Robbers come to the house. Honey, protect me. It's like, what are you doing? I think you know
Yeah.
who the man of the house was in that situation. That's amazing. Yeah.
so I'll get into this a little bit later, but he was actually very supportive of her role in the military,
Yeah,
of
cool.
of like the view of women participating in war and in the military. He was actually very supportive
Interesting,
of
yeah.
her in
Yeah.
that. They had 4 children together after they were married, and they lived as farmers. They always struggled financially, and just like her parents did. And in 1802, she went on a lecture tour. She started to give lectures about her time in the army. She was apparently the first woman to give lectures about her time in the army during the Revolutionary War. So apparently the other women who were
They were
disguising
like,
themselves.
I don't want to talk about it, man.
Yeah.
Whole industry.
No, but she was the first woman to give lectures about the Revolutionary War
Yeah.
in 1802.
Yeah.
And as part of her lectures, she would talk about the roles of women in the military and try to champion women being more part of the war.
Interesting. Yeah.
Part of her lecture, she would dress in her uniform and perform military drills to try to educate.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think this was partly to earn money because she would earn money with these lectures, and they were struggling financially. But it was also partly to educate and to raise more awareness and champion women's roles more. Even with these lectures, they were still struggling financially. So she would often reach out to a friend to borrow money. I want you guys to try to guess who this friend was.
His name is...
This friend, you know his name. This friend
George Washington.
was not George Washington. I'll give you that hint. It's not George Washington, but it is another pretty famous figure from the Revolutionary War.
Hamilton.
Madison.
No.
Jefferson.
Monroe.
Okay,
No.
think way less political. He was less politically involved, but he was involved in the Revolutionary War.
Dicey Langston.
That would be real full circle.
Wow.
One of Dicey's 22 kids.
The kids.
No,
Oh,
it
no.
was
This is in.
James,
this is
come on. Carry,
Come on.
James.
This is 1780.
No, so
18
this was in the
something.
early
Oh,
1800s.
this is 18. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
In the early 1800s, she would reach out to him for
Less
financial.
political.
Wasn't one of the presidents. He's not political. So
No,
yeah.
not political.
Not in the
say-
cabinet-ish
Ooh.
equivalent, whatever that would be at the time.
I'll just go ahead and tell you guys. It was Paul Revere.
Paul
Revere.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
That's
man.
interesting.
Apparently, they were personal friends, and she would write him letters and ask for personal loans when she was struggling.
The Sampsons are coming.
The Sampsons are coming.
We just went, my wife and I just went to the Paul Revere house in Boston
Oh, really?
a few months ago. And I did not know about
I was in
that ever since.
Boston last year, and I think I don't know if
Okay,
it was.
James, let me have my moment.
I was just say I think I saw his grave at the
James was like,
cemetery.
I think
out
I
there.
met
Yeah.
Paul Revere, actually. He's trying-
I gave him the money that he
give to
gave to
Deborah.
Deborah.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
So in 1804, Paul Revere wrote a letter to Congress on her behalf to ask that they grant her military pension.
Oh. I was going to ask about pension.
With the dishonorable
like,
discharge, was she excluded from pension? Is that why?
No, she
Or
was
honorable.
honorably
Sorry,
discharged.
honorably
with the honorable
discharged.
discharge, was she excluded from pension?
Yes,
Right?
because
Okay.
because she was a woman, she was
Right,
di-
right.
Was she a
excluded
woman?
from
She's a
because she a woman.
And then that got her.
Got it.
So Paul Revere wrote a special letter to Congress on her behalf, asking that they grant her military pension. No woman had ever been given military pension before that. So in 1805, it was approved.
Wow.
So she started receiving pension in 1805. But in 1809, she petitioned Congress to give her back pay for pension starting in 1783.
Here you go.
Let's ask producer Austin the best way to get money out of the U.S. military. Huh? Like,
He would have known. He would have.
Yeah.
So she petitioned Congress in 1809, and it was initially denied that they give her back pay starting in 1783, but she repetitions in 1816, and it was granted. So they gave her full back pay starting in 1783 of all of her pension, and she was able to use that to pay off all of her debts.
she has debts from before. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Man.
Well, you got to do what you got to do,
Wow.
man. What
Paul
do you-
Revere coming in clutch.
Yeah,
It's
Paul
really
Revere.
funny.
Seriously.
The unsung hero behind the unsung hero, who happens to be a sung hero.
He's a
maybe?
very sung hero.
He's
I
a
feel
very
like.
Yeah, he did. Well, yeah. Apparently, I was going to at one point do an unsung hero episode about a different Paul Revere type character who traveled a long way to warn people, and apparently went like way farther than Paul Revere did. So
Nah.
Paul Revere.
Yeah. It's not
really a
quite
hero?
as cool.
maybe I'll save that guy for a different episode.
Yeah.
Congress grants her the back pay, and apparently they said a very nice thing about her that I don't actually have in my notes, but they said that she was a very heroic person from the war. In 1827, she contracts yellow fever and dies.
How old was she at that point? If she was born in.
She was born in 1760.
Okay.
67.
Yeah.
67.
Yeah. Doing the math.
Right in time to go on a hike.
That's crazy
Yeah.
to think that that's the year that our
That's the-
previous
right?
episodes.
Yeah,
Right,
started
yeah.
her hike. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so she dies of yellow fever at the age of 67.
Wow.
And then, so Benjamin Gannett, her husband, now widower, he's still alive. He petitions Congress to receive pension as a spouse of a veteran.
These guys are great with their petitions.
They're like, man.
I wonder at this point, had her fame kind of grown as like a known hero? Because I know there's a lot of revolutionary heroes that begin to kind of.
Yes. I don't know how like sort of nationally, but definitely in her hometown. I think there's like a
Right,
statue of her and all of that in her hometown. I don't know how much she was known outside of that.
Austin, could you pull up a picture of the statue? Could you find one of her?
I wanted earlier. I wanted to ask Austin to pull
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
Oh,
there,
look,
yeah,
yeah,
there's the
wow.
statue.
There it is. That's cool.
I wanted you to pull up earlier. There's a portrait of her. I think you may have seen when you looked her up earlier.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
There's a portrait of Deborah Sampson from when she enlisted, around the time she enlisted.
Neat. So she would have been, I guess, around 16 or so
Yeah,
when the
that one.
Revolutionary War started, and then I guess by the time,
She was
it ended,
she was 21 when she
21. She
enlisted.
enlisted, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, in 1837, Congress grants Benjamin Gannett pension as a spouse of a veteran,
Nice.
but he unfortunately dies that same year
Oh,
before the first check comes or before the first amount of money comes. So
How did he die?
I don't know how he died.
Was it also yellow
What,
fever?
you think there's some kind of conspiracy? I don't think so.
Congress is like, we can't afford this. We just bought the Louisiana Purchase. Napoleon's got.
Let's say yes for PR. Deal with it.
Yeah. What's that, Austin? You got?
I just wanted to share. I just saw when you were talking about what like the physical changes she went through. Apparently, she had waist length blonde hair before enlisting and cut that hair to join. So that's a big change.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yep.
change up.
Yep.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, there was another fact about when Paul Revere wrote the letter. He described in the letter her leg injury that she was still dealing with.
Her shoulder injury or her leg injury?
Right, exactly.
Does it really matter though?
It's the thigh of the arm. And the reason was because you get extra pension if you were injured in the war. And so I want you guys to guess how much extra did you get if you were injured in the war per
Double.
per month?
Austin's got. I mean, he understands the military stuff. I don't know. I wonder what the
I want
equivalent
you guys
is.
to try to guess how many. It's in dollars. How many
Double.
dollars
Like 2
No.
Wait, so how many
Well,
dollars
per-
would she have gotten
per month.
normally?
per
per
month?
month?
Oh,
Like-
maybe 1 or 2.
It was $4.
Four. Okay,
$4.
Yeah, pretty close.
Wait, what
Four
was the
extra
amount
dollars.
that
That's
she's
like
getting?
$27,000 in
It
ours
was
money today.
it was 40. It was like 48 or something like that. Like the
48,
total
so you
pension
get
was like
four more.
$48
Okay,
a
so
month.
$4 extra dollars.
James, probably inflation adjusted. It's
27
several thousands of dollars.
Thousands, yeah,
probably
she was
now,
breaking it.
$22 million. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what it
She
is.
could afford a
adjusted for
2,500
inflation.
sure foot home with that probably.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's basically all her life. I have one extra fun fact. She was born in her grandparents' house in 1760, which apparently is still standing today.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
1760.
You have a picture of that?
I don't have I never looked up a picture. Maybe Austin
Man,
can find
That's
one.
wild.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
pretty
that's the
don't
life of
build them like they used to.
Deborah Sampson, the
have our own
female
Mulan.
soldier of the Revolutionary War.
Deborah Sampson. That's our second kind of Revolutionary War-esque unsung hero
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
past 2 seasons. That's cool.
Well,
The
it is-
funnest war.
yeah.
Apparently, we're ranking them.
Washington and the boys,
It's a
man.
good
You
talk,
can't
too.
get better.
I mean,
than-
have you seen some of the paintings of that war? Like,
They're
Yeah.
pretty
it's
great.
pretty cool.
That was the
Pretty
height of
intense.
artistic expression.
Okay, if
Right.
we're talking about fun wars, 1453.
Oh, that's the
Okay,
house.
all right, get out of
Oh,
here.
it's got to bring it back. Oh, look at that. That's a
That's
great house.
cool.
Look
Oh,
at
that's
that
beautiful.
house.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
Quite
nice.
cozy, just like the war.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's a pretty cool
Yeah.
story, Johnny.
That's
Thanks
amazing.
For
Yeah.
sharing it.
I wonder because Sam and I talked earlier about who he talked about last episode and then who I'm going to talk about this episode, and I told him who I'm going to present on, and it was not Deborah Sampson. And
a risky move.
yeah, I changed who I was going to do because I think the other person I was going to do I may save for a future episode.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but I was just feeling Deborah Sampson today. I
Yep.
think that's a fun
Mhm.
one. So
It's
Very
great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. See the
Love
courage to. Oh, okay. Well, sorry, Austin. Go ahead.
I just want to throw this in right at the end. You were talking earlier in the episode about like how we can still read things, but they don't sound like how we talk today. Which I wanted to just read 2 quotes really quickly. The first one is, "Why can I not fight for my country too?" when asked about why she wanted to sign up. But then the other one that I thought was really funny was, I am indeed willing to acknowledge what I have done, an error and presumption. I will call it an error and presumption because I swerved from the accustomed flowery path of female delicacy to walk upon the heroic precipice of feminine perdition.
Dude,
Quite the
telling
quote.
you.
Dropping bombs.
Better DLA, better DLA.
Lyrics
Should we
lyrics
put that
already
in the-
found?
yeah,
Most
yeah.
literate society right there. That's what I'm
Wow.
talking
I was,
about.
gonna say,
100%.
I was gonna say, like, I wish we talked like that.
No, I
mean,
was
nothing's
I was
stopping you,
listening
man.
to
You could do
some.
Okay, I don't know if I can.
I was listening to some like court proceedings from like the 1700s, and there were like people who were common folk who were being interrogated about stuff, and they would answer the judge, and it was like the most eloquent thing you could imagine. And they're just like regular farmers, and you're like, what's going
I
on?
wonder. I wonder in like 100, 200 years from now, if they look back at how we talk now and think it's so eloquent.
When he said skibbity
'Cause this has
Rizzler,
gotten
I was
worse.
just blown away.
Wow, I haven't heard
Okay.
that in decades.
So
Skibidi is no cap. Oh wow.
Wow.
so I will like drop like there's a book actually about this topic that is talking about the like transformation of a literate society to kind of the televised society, talking about the medium and everything like that. So I remember in this book, he's talking about a debate from the 1800s, and the two presidents are kind of going back and forth, and just the like ability to follow, like the audience is just sitting there for like 8 hours, just listening to all the things back and forth. And then
There's
he-
nothing
do that
more
now.
entertaining than that.
Right, and then-
that's like
Yeah.
prime entertainment.
yeah, and then you kind of go into like television and into that era, and then the era that we're in now, and there is just this kind of, I don't know, society's changed because the way that we get information now is completely different.
There's a drastic
So-
degradation. I think
Yeah.
probably technology is a huge part of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
Samuel's our resident editor, so he's gonna.
yeah.
Yes,
I'll
Yes, he
talk
keeps
about
us. He keeps us smart and eloquent.
Indeed,
so-
indeed.
it. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I can't speak that way. though.
I think our song for this, Johnny, should be entirely written in the style of English of her. Just
Yeah.
just
Dude, that is so hard. I don't know if I'm on board with
the
that.
most eloquent song you've ever.
Okay, our audience is about to hear it, and it's probably not going to sound anything like
Don't get
that.
your
I'm
hopes
just
up.
putting that
Gangster rap.
disclaimer
Let's
now.
go.
it's gonna be like two phrases over and over again. or something.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
call her the American Mulan 27.
yeah. We'll have to come up with something. I mean,
That'll be fun. Yeah.
how we've done these in the past is the songs typically do not match
The genre,
the genre
not
of
at
the
all.
It's part of the
story.
beauty of it.
Oh yeah.
It's part of the beauty, yes. It's part of the
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
So we'll come up with that. That'll be fun, James and I. And
Looking forward to
actually,
it.
I think there may be one of these songs coming up where I'm going to try to involve the rest of us,
Oh, here
the,
we
the
go.
other two of us.
Yes.
And maybe even producer Austin.
Get my sister one of these days on one of them too.
Yeah.
We'll cut that.
Yeah, we'll have to
Yeah.
see. So yeah, look forward to that, guys. That
Cool.
should be playing just in a few moments. Any other thoughts, guys?
Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Johnny.
That was great.
Yeah, thanks,
That was
guys.
a good one.
All right. Thanks to our audience, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Very nice.
The revolution's in the hands of a woman. She's got education from her brothers, but her father is not. Better watch her go to fight. The Tories cannot stop her. Join the army, load the cannons. Now they call her Robert. A woman fighter, infantry lighter. They're none the wiser. Gonna sneak into the army. Deborah looks so good she could have fooled me. Deborah, she's got every right to fight for her life through the bullets and blood. The revolution's in the leg of a woman. She got shot by the redcoats. Don't get caught, so she is digging it out. She's sick with fever, so the doctor's gonna figure her out. They won't forget her, celebrate her, sing about her, no doubt. A woman fighter, infantry lighter. none the wiser.